and welcome to the first episode of reviews from the Dylbozer'S Den. We're going to go over a couple of EPs that were released within the last week or so. Starting out, we're going to talk about Escuela Grind's most recent release, Death Metal. This is the follow-up to their last full-length, Memory Theater. It's 4 tracks at 13 minutes, maybe 14, depending how you want to look at it. Great tracks: Ball and Chain, Punishment Ritual, Abyssal Plane, Meat Magnet, featuring Barney Greenway from the classic grind band Napalm Death. What you've got here are 4 tracks of the band's tribute to death metal, doing it in their own style. Definitely still sounds like this band, but it also shows a lot of their death metal influences. Definitely an ass beater of an EP. There's a lot of D beat, a lot of skank beats in this. A couple parts that sound like if you sped it up, it would sound like vintage Escuela Grind. As we now know that this band is all about their live shows, and it's definitely reflective on this EP. Definitely a great listen. Definitely a good introductory to maybe get into this band through this EP. If you're interested, just keep in mind that their full lengths more than likely won't sound just like this. Great stopgap in between their most recent full length and what's to come. This album was recorded with Will Killingsworth and was mixed by Converge's own Kurt Ballou. So hope you enjoy. Check it out. And the next review we have is for Alluvial's Death is But a Door, released on Nuclear Blast Records. This was mixed by Jeff Dunn and produced by the band's own Wes Hauck. If you guys aren't familiar with his playing or who he is the guitar player of this band. He has done time in many other acts: The Faceless, Thy Art is Murder, Devin Townsend. There's many that I'm missing. Alluvial started out as a project between Wes and his friend and fellow axe slinger Keith Marrow, but ended up becoming more of a full-fledged band as the years went by. Their most recent full-length record is Sarcoma, which was also released on Nuclear Blast. This EP is about 17 minutes long and follows through with the band's take on modern death metal, which is a very atmospheric, progressive-leaning death metal, technical as you can possibly get it. You know, Wes Hauck is more than likely your favorite guitar player's favorite guitar player. It's like the Terry Funk of guitar playing. These 4 tracks don't let up. Starting out with Bog Dweller, then you go into Fog Belt, and then you have Area Code, which I think Wes lives in Atlanta, so this might be a tie-in to Ludacris's song Area Codes, but I'm sure I'm just making that up. But then your final track on the record is Death is But a Door for the title track. The first 3 tracks are just pummeling ass beaters of track, with his kind of patented blend of like Pantera meets Decapitated meets Morbid Angel kind of guitar playing and guitar style. You know, he's obviously very influenced by Dimebag Darrell and Vogue of that, but he has his own style in there. It's not just a direct rip off of that. You can hear it. It's always going to be there, but he's his own guitar player, and he has proven himself very well with this EP. And I'm so happy to see an EP where this band kind of gets to be creative and do some more atmospheric stuff. You saw some of this on the last release, Sarcoma. It's death metal for sure. You've got ass beating death metal. You've got great vocals from Kevin Mueller, who did some time in Suffocation as well. You're definitely going to get all the grooves, the blast beats, the blinding tech. But what you get is all of that tied together into great songwriting and great song structure. These are catchy as hell songs. There's some forward moving stuff in here, a whole lot of just his mind, what to expect with his take on death metal, which, is really fascinating and always fun to see what this band has coming out. I will say this, if you're not a fan of cleaner vocals or non-distorted vocals, however you want to refer to them in death metal, you may not enjoy the last track. It does kind of catch you off guard. But if you did listen to their last full length, the track 40 Stories obviously had clean vocals in it, and the title track here is no different. I could definitely see how some maybe true fans may not enjoy the clean vocals in this, but I just took it as like, hey, Opeth has had clean vocals for their whole career, and there are other death metal bands that have done it really well, and this band is just taking that and using that as a color on their paint palette. Definitely check this out. I thoroughly enjoyed this EP. Hopefully you guys too. Thank you for joining me.